Commander-in-Chief, we are grateful for the presence of our Commander-in-Chief this afternoon at this important event. Commander-in-Chief, this particular event proceeds and follows every significant operations that the joint services would have been involved since independence. Such activity is what we have termed the after-action review. This after-action review relates to our just concluded operation, Operation Plexus. It's a standard operation that we stand up for every national and regional elections. On the conclusion of such election, all officers are meant to meet with their subordinates and go through the different serials and events and activities that would have occurred during the said operation, and in this case, Operation Plexus. At this level, and at this juncture this afternoon, only the senior commanders are meeting, as they would have in the respective services conducted their after-action review with their subordinates. They're meant to bring those points and ventilate same here this afternoon. The aim of the after-action review is meant to consolidate and strengthen our tactics, our operational posture, and also identify areas in which we can improve on for future similar operations. And thirdly, also to identify innovative ways in which we can enhance those operations and not reflected in our manuals, etc. Commander-in-Chief, in my opening remarks just earlier this afternoon, I was alluding to that in my 33 years of service, this election would have been one of the best conducted in terms of creating the security environment for national and regional elections to be conducted. And I applaud the service and professionalism of our officers and ranks across the joint services. Commander-in-Chief, in one particular instance, there was a shooting incident on our border on E-Day, on Elections Day. And while we would have discussed this, I want to point out that this particular attack cannot be measured in the previous attack as just a threat to our territorial integrity and our sovereignty. This was an attack to our democracy, as we were escorting GCOM officials on the Cuyuni River. The vigilance of our ranks, our defense force, police force, and elements of our Coast Guard were effective in their drills to ensure that no serious disruption or injuries occurred. By and large, Commander-in-Chief, we are sitting here this afternoon to reflect back on our operational posture. I have no doubt that in future such operations or joint operations, we will continue to operate with efficiency and bring the kind of desired service, security product to the people of Guyana. Commander-in-Chief, you're here this afternoon to give brief remarks about our conduct and creating that security environment. But I recall a few months ago at the Defense Board, you have directed that the Chief of Defense Staff design and generate medals for select categories of operational activities that define our service to this nation. And there were a few. Our engineers operating under imminent threats and constructing runways or rehabilitating runways on our borders. In another, we were meant to design and generate a medal to be awarded to ranks who would have conducted themselves in disaster relief and humanitarian operations like we would have done so on many occasions and just recently to our sister countries in the Caribbean. You've also directed, Commander-in-Chief, that joint operations, when they reach that threshold that secure our nation in high intensity and challenging environment, we also recognize our officers and ranks. This afternoon, Commander-in-Chief, we invite you to present the Joint Services Medal to 4 ranks each of the joint services who will represent those who will be awarded later by the heads of services. For this important recognition of creating the environment so that our national elections can be conducted. Before I invite you, Commander-in-Chief, I would take the opportunity on behalf of myself and all the heads of services here, officers and ranks of the joint services, to congratulate you having been elected to office by the people of Guyana. The stewardship, the leadership that you have demonstrated over the past 5 years has been instrumental to the improvement and standard across a spectrum of capabilities, human equipment, infrastructure across the joint services. We therefore take the opportunity to wish you well as you begin this journey in your second term and surely look forward for what else we can do to enhance our own service to the people of Guyana. Commander-in-Chief, I now invite you to give brief remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Heads of the Joint Services, senior officers, officers and members of the Joint Services, I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon and to be part of this simple yet profound ceremony aimed at extending the nation's gratitude to the men and women of the Joint Services who stood duty on Elections Day and in the days prior to and following elections. I'm here to thank you personally on behalf of the Cooperative Republic of Ghana for the exceptional role that you have played in safeguarding peace, good order, and stability across our 10 administrative regions. This activity is but a modest expression of our appreciation for your service. As I've said before, and I will say again, because it cannot be repeated enough, elections are the lifeblood of democracy. When citizens can exercise their rights to vote freely, without fear or intimidation, a nation demonstrates the depth of its democratic maturity. The peaceful and orderly conduct of our most recent elections was not an accident or circumstance. It was a direct result of planning, vigilance, discipline, and the efforts of the Joint Services, and we cannot forget the Ghana Elections Commission, who did an extraordinary job. In this regard, I wish to extend my personal gratitude to the leadership of the Joint Services here today. Your foresight, your coordination, and your ability to act as one united force ensured that all contingencies were anticipated and addressed. But just as important, I wish to pay tribute to the individual ranks, those men and women who stood at polling stations, patrolled our streets, and manned their posts with quiet diligence. Leadership gives direction, but it is the rank and file who give effect to that vision. And this afternoon, we honor both. On Election Day, you stood watch. In the days after, when tensions could have easily have tipped into disorder, you held the line, calm, silent but decisive in your actions. And this, of course, allowed the people's will to be expressed without disruption. For this, we thank you. For this, we honor you. For this, history will remember you. It is often said that the test of a nation is not how it behaves in times of comfort, but how it conducts itself in moments of strain. Elections can be moments of strain. They stir passion, they invite debate, they expose division. Yet Guyana passed the test, and we passed it because the Joint Services ensured that passion did not become provocation, and division did not descend into disorder. Your vigilance gave us peace. Your discipline gave us stability. Your courage secures our democracy. Allow me to remind us all of something fundamental. Peace and stability at home are not just about the absence of conflict. They're about the presence of order. They're about creating an environment where citizens can trust the process, where business can function, where communities can feel safe. And when we strengthen peace and stability within our borders, we are also fortifying our stability to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Domestic peace is the foundation of national defense. For Guyana, this is not an abstract principle. We live in a region where we face claims that challenge our territorial integrity and threaten our national patrimony. It is therefore imperative that the world see us as a people, united, capable of conducting our affairs with dignity and order. When our elections are peaceful, when our democracy is secure, our case for sovereignty is strengthened. The stronger our peace, the firmer our borders, the deeper our unity, the higher our defense. Stability at home ensures that our joint services can focus their energy on the twin tasks of security and sovereignty. A country that is peaceful within is formidable. The work you did on Elections Day was not only about that day, it was about ensuring that Guyana presents itself to the world as a stable, credible, and mature democracy. To every officer, every rank, every individual who took up duty, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. You were the embodiment of discipline and professionalism. While the nation went to the polls, you stood guard. While ballots were cast, you kept watch. While results were awaited, you maintained calm. Your service made the people's choice possible. Your vigilance made democracy visible. Let us not underestimate the weight of what was achieved. Around the world, we have seen how elections can descend into violence, how trust in institutions can be eroded by disorder, how democracy can be weakened by chaos. But in Guyana, we showed another path. We showed that elections can be orderly, that transitions can be peaceful, and democracy can be both vibrant and stable. This was our collective achievement as a people, but it was secured by the efforts of the joint services. We are, as a nation, still young in democratic years, but with each election conducted peacefully, with each transition managed smoothly, with each exercise of the people's will respected and protected, we grow in strength and in stature. And in this growth is possible, and this growth is possible because of the shield provided by the joint services. This afternoon's ceremony is not a reward, it is a recognition. No ceremony can adequately repay the sacrifices you made or the burdens you bore. Many of you spent long hours, days, and weeks away from your families. Many of you worked in tense and uncertain conditions. Many of you endured the strain of duty so that the rest of us could enjoy the privilege of voting in peace. For that, we are in your debt. But what we can offer and what we must offer is a nation's gratitude. Gratitude not only in words but in deeds. Gratitude that will be reflected in our commitment to support and strengthen the joint services, to provide you with the tools and resources you need to ensure that your welfare is prioritized and that your service is honored, not just ceremonially, but substantively. To the people of Guyana, let us take a lesson from this moment. The peace we enjoyed was not automatic, it was secured. The order we experienced was not natural, it was protected. The democracy we celebrated was not guaranteed, it was defended. And those who secured, protected, and defended it were the men and women of the joint services. They were part of that collective. We owe them not just thanks, but respect. As we look ahead to the future, let us do so with confidence, knowing that we have within our nation a force capable of preserving our democracy and protecting our sovereignty. In closing, let me remind you that peace is priceless. Stability is strength. Democracy is dignity. And the joint services are the guardians of all three. On behalf of the government and the people of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, I say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your example. May your efforts continue to inspire confidence in our democracy, unity in our people, and strength in our nation. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
We'll now have the reading of the citation.
Citation for Joint Services Medal Class A. The Joint Services Medal is hereby conferred on the undermentioned ranks of the Joint Services for their meritorious and dedicated service in support of the maintenance of law and order in Guyana during Operation Plexus 2025-01, conducted during the period Wednesday, August 20th to Monday, September 8th. These ranks were at the forefront of direct action which enabled the effective execution of the operation. Their commitment, bravery, and professionalism reflect great credit upon themselves and the Joint Service. It is for this reason that His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, hereby confer the Joint Services Medal Class A upon these ranks. Second Lieutenant Rolex Bob, Sergeant Roderick Bancroft, Corporal Rondell Asano of the Guyana Defense Force, Assistant Superintendent of Prisons Patrick Crawford, Chief Prison Officer Jennifer James, and Principal Officer Julian Alfonso. From the Guyana Fire Service, Cadet Officer Desmond Coursety, Station Officer Travis Devent, Leading Fireman Sherwin Norris. And from the Guyana Police Force, Assistant Superintendent Rickford Harley Quinn, Woman Inspector Shanice Bob, and Woman Inspector Ruby King Blair. For their involvement in the maintenance of law and order in Guyana by direct participation in Operation Plexus 2025-01 during the period aforementioned, awarded on this 11th day of September, signed Brigadier Omar Khan, MSS Chief of Defense Staff, Chairman of the Joint Service Coordinating Council.